Hello, welcome to today's video. If you're new here, my name is Grace and I'm a part-time working mum of two little boys. I've got a 4-year-old and an almost 3-year-old, and this video is going to be our nursery drop-off and gym morning routine. On a weekday, we tend to wake up around 7 AM. I set a 6:45 alarm and I usually press snooze once or twice, so 7 o'clock is the average time that we usually are waking up in our household. Sometimes it's earlier, good morning, but it does tend to be around 7 o'clock, which is a pretty good time for us because that gives us around an hour or so before we need to be heading out the door. So the first thing that I do is I will go into the boys' room to wake them up if they're not already awake. As I say, sometimes they'll be awake before the alarm goes off, they might even be in our bed with us, but generally it is that they're both in bed still. So Jasper is in his cot, but Elliot is in a proper toddler bed. And the first thing, which is a bit of a non-negotiable as part of our morning routine, is to just get the beds made really quickly, and I feel like this sets us up for a productive morning. You feel a lot better when all the beds are made, so it's one of the first things that we will do once we get up. So maybe my husband will either make the beds or I'll make the beds while the other of us is putting them on the toilet or the potty. We try and also make sure that we all do use the toilet first thing in the morning. Our eldest is mostly dry at night because he's 4 now. He does still wear a nappy to bed, but that is more of a safety blanket. But he's usually dry, so he will need to use the toilet. And also Jasper is potty trained too, so we encourage him to try and do a wee first thing in the morning, and that's just a really good productive start to the day for us all. We head downstairs at this stage and we do put the television on in the mornings for the boys. Now, our children don't have a hell of a lot of screen time, and it is just a way for them to have a relaxing, chilled out start to the morning. And to be honest with you, I don't really want them getting loads of toys out, making a huge mess in the mornings, because I feel as though that would be quite a stressful way to start our morning, and this just works really well for us. So they'll have their milk on the sofa and that just keeps them nice and occupied while we can get breakfast and get the morning going. So speaking of breakfast, something that I've been giving the boys for breakfast recently is this really convenient ready-made up Weetabix pouch. So in here I will put a whole Weetabix, some milk and chia seeds, and I leave this overnight, and it's such a handy, healthy breakfast to give the children. And they tend to sit on the sofa and eat this, and then I know that they've got a substantial breakfast in their tummy. They'll also usually have like a banana and a multivitamin too, but the pouch is their breakfast, and that is just what we've been doing, because I tend to find that if they're sitting up at the table eating breakfast, it takes forever. They take so long to eat at the table, and this pouch is a convenient way to get a good breakfast into them. This is one I've made up if you can't already see. I will leave a link to these pouches down below. I buy them from Amazon and they're really handy. You can put like your own yogurt in them, that kind of thing. So this is a Weetabix, which I feel like is quite a good breakfast to give them. It's high in fibre and it's got, you know, all that good stuff in it, so they tend to have that for their breakfast on the sofa while me and Oliver, my husband, drink our cup of tea, and then we can make our own breakfast. And on a nursery drop-off morning, it is just super convenient for me because they've got a good healthy breakfast in their tummy. It's not taking them ages to eat. It hasn't made loads of mess. Weetabix can be really messy on the, like if they get it on the table and it dries, it's just super messy. So I'm really rating this as their nursery drop-off morning breakfast. So while the boys are sitting eating their breakfast pouches, me and Oliver drink our morning cup of tea. This is a routine that we've had for so long now, and it works really well for our family. Obviously it will look different for everyone, but this is just the way that we start our day, and it's a really nice, slow, cozy way to start the morning. Then after this is a little bit more full steam ahead to get our own breakfast and get the boys and ourselves dressed and ready for the day. I try and switch things up as much as possible for breakfast, but lately I have also been having a Weetabix myself with a handful of blueberries. I'll quickly clear up breakfast, then it's time for us all to head upstairs and get ready. Before we get the kids dressed for the day, I try and get them to clean their teeth, because this can also be quite messy at times too. Rather than them spilling toothpaste down clean clothes, it's easier while they're still in their pyjamas. The boys will brush their teeth themselves to start with, then we will also help them, especially with our youngest. But we have these little steps in the bathroom that the boys can use to stand at the sink, which are really handy for them, and we use these every morning. A good hack that I've learnt from other YouTube mums is to lay out your children's clothes for the day ahead the night before. So I always do this on school mornings, so literally their whole outfit, underwear, socks are ready to go on the morning. It saves you having to fish around in their wardrobes for their outfits. And another thing that I always like to try and do while our children are young and distractible is to get them dressed on the landing. Sometimes I do have to shut their bedroom doors or my bedroom door to stop them wandering off, because they're very distractible, and the landing is quite a neutral place to get them dressed. There's not so many distractions like toys, that kind of thing, and this usually makes it a little bit easier for us to just quickly get them dressed. Once I've dressed them, I will sometimes, not every morning, but most mornings for Elliot, I've started styling his hair just to make him feel a little bit more like a big boy. And we've been sort of saying that when he's starting school soon, you know, like big boys style their hair, and just to kind of like encourage him to feel like he's growing up a little bit, and he quite likes that. You can see him here just with a little bit of gel in his hair, so this is what I use, just like a conditioning spray to dampen it down and some gel. On the morning that I filmed this routine video, it wasn't one of my work days, so it is a day where the kids go to nursery in the morning for a few hours, and I haven't got to head to work, which is why I can go to the gym. I don't usually go to the gym in the mornings where I have work. I think that would be too much for me to try and fit into the morning, but I am in my gym wear now, and what I'll do is I will put a little bit of makeup on, standing in the hallway at the mirror here, because the children are back in the living room at this point, and I can keep my eye on them whilst getting myself ready quickly. I probably spend the least amount of time getting myself ready. I'll get everyone else ready, and then I try and set a timer for myself and get myself ready within 5 or 10 minutes, because by this point it is nearly time for us to start heading out the door now. Another thing that I find makes our morning routine run a little bit more smoothly is to put out the boys' school bags the night before, and I leave them by the front door, so they've got their little school bags. I've already made up their drink for school, it's in their bag ready to go, and I'll get their shoes out and I'll put their jackets by the front door. And again, this probably saves us a couple of minutes, and it probably doesn't sound like much, but every little couple of minutes you add up does add on to your morning routine, and I just find this is something that helps us get our morning going with a bit more ease. And again, on the morning that I filmed this, it just so happened that my husband Oliver was starting work a little bit later, so he was available to help me get the children out the door, which is always a big help, just to get another pair of hands, getting the children ready. So I put Jasper's shoes on, and Oliver sorted Elliot out for me, and this is just really handy if he can do this for me, because obviously it will just get things done a little bit quicker so that we can get out the door on time, which is always a struggle, isn't it? Like the last 5 minutes, doesn't matter how smooth your morning goes, always seem to be a little bit like chaotic. But yeah, they'll put their shoes on and have their little nursery bags put on their back at this point, and we'll head out to the car. Now, most of the time we do drive, Some mornings we'll walk, but again, the morning that I filmed this, I was driving because I was going to head straight to the gym afterwards. So I get the boys in the car and we'll do the nursery drop off. I do this on my own because then it's time for my husband he can get ready all by himself. He hasn't got to worry about the children. That'll be easier for him, kind of thing. I just wanted to add at this point that the boys have been going to nursery for a while now and there's absolutely no problems getting them in the door these days. It did take a little while for them to be at this stage, but it tends to all go quite smoothly once I do this drop-off part. Now the children have been dropped off at nursery, my time is my own a little bit more and I usually end up heading straight to the gym. I mean, some mornings I walk Penny, but most of the time I go straight to the gym just to get it done. And then that's a really good thing ticked off my day. And going to the gym sets me up for the day and I love starting the day going to the gym. And I'm sure that when my children are at school, I probably will go to the gym in the mornings a lot more when they're both like at actual proper school, but it makes me feel so much better and it's more for my own like headspace really working out. Not only does your body feel good, but you've achieved something for the day. So yeah, going to the gym is definitely my me time and I love it. I've always liked going to the gym even before my 2 children, but especially at the minute because it just gives me that sort of headspace, clears your head and you feel really good and strong and accomplished after you've been to the gym. So yeah, I do love my gym time in the mornings. So that is what I'll do on the mornings that they're at nursery and I'm not at work, I'll be at the gym. And I don't have to rush, I usually spend about an hour working out. I use the Evolve You app, if I've not said already, at the minute. And I've done a review on this app. If you are interested in that, I'll leave that at the end of this video. And so I always know I'm going into the gym with a plan and I love it. But yeah, that's what I do in the mornings. And then once I've done my workout, I'll usually head back and it's time for me to walk Penny, and that is pretty much my morning routine. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing a little glimpse of our morning routine. If you'd like to see one when it is a work day, let me know and I can do that for you as well. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you again really soon. Bye.